Welcome back, and for anybody that's new, I'm Casey. So today I'm going to show you how to make some really awesome custom emblems, and if you want, you can go all out on this and do as much as you'd like, change up the colors. It's really up to your taste, so let's get to it. Alright, so before I put these in here and glue it in place, I'm going to take some white with sprinkles Play-Doh, because that's best. I'm going to roll it out. Going to put a bunch right all the way along the edge to create a seal. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but this is my way of doing it. Alright, so now comes the point. I can put that in there, line it up with the holes that I cut through, and just put a little dab of glue so it doesn't wiggle around on me. I would prefer to leave some of a lip there that I can cut out later, but I don't want that whole back area filling in, so that's why I wanted to be able to put in the Play-Doh. So right about now is when other YouTubers would break out their calculator. They'd start doing, some pi calculations and everything in order to figure out how much they need. Usually they come up wrong anyways and have to redo it, but I guess my way is a little different. I got some rice that I keep here in the shop, and I'm gonna go like this. When I got it filled with how much I need, then I will take another one of these measuring cups and I will transfer this into there, probably spilling half of it. Kcreations stuck to the Play-Doh, so now we got wheat and rice mixed. Almost got a meal here. Oof. Brush that off, but no big deal. So anyways, now I can flatten this out, and so when we look at it from the side, I know that I need about 16 ounces, and that's 2-part epoxy, so I'll mix up 2 things of 8 together. So now before I mix up the silicone rubber, I'm going to put a mold release on here, and what I have is a combination of mineral spirits and petroleum jelly. And it's about a 50-50 mix. This probably has a little more mineral spirits than petroleum jelly, but it should work all the same. I almost forgot about the other trick. So the other trick is to take a sharp point and just reach in here and check all of the cracks. And all you're doing is making sure that in those seams that there's no air bubbles stuck in there hiding. I'm gonna go wash this off. In this small amount, doing it this way isn't really completely accurate, but it'll give me a pretty good idea. Alright, so I found out these little air bubbles absolutely matter. The reason why is because of the fact the paint has surface tension, just like water, because it is a liquid. And when you go to take and paint over the top of this, it ends up leaving little itty bitty pockets that don't have anything there. Let's see if I can show you with this. Now I don't know if those would be visible in the final product or not, but they would bug me enough, so I'm going to do a different route. I did find out after a little research that a vacuum chamber isn't necessarily the best for getting rid of these bubbles. It's actually a pressure pot. I tried making a pressure pot, but it didn't succeed, and I need to get this video out. So, as you can see down here, something that I've already tested out and it seemed to work pretty well is actually taking the paint and putting it on the layer ahead of time, then pouring the resin in there. So we're gonna give that a try on all these. As you can see for the whites, I did do a black one, but I changed my mind and I want to do a silver one. So it looks basically stock and you can't tell. And then I also have the rear one for my truck, as well as the front one for my truck. These ones, to get them a little bit glossy, I did end up having to put another layer on top of them, but I'm okay with that. So now, I get to pull this out, and I'm going to show you on the other ones, but I'm going to take and make places for LEDs in the back. So here's the process of pulling it out. As you can see, it comes out pretty nicely, and it's going to be nice and clean behind there. By the way, if you do this, an easy way to clean the paint off of here is let this soak in like a vegetable oil, and it comes right off. So that turned out more gray than chrome, so I'm going to end up spraying this one with chrome to brighten it up. But I'm going to show you on the other ones the following process, which is going to be taking in, carving out some spots for the LEDs. You could try to mold them at the same time, but I find it to be a little bit too difficult. And if you end up having the wires touch the bottom and somehow you got to try to suspend them, it's a lot more complicated than what I really want to do. For the LEDs I'm going to be using on this, these are simple dash LEDs that are 12 volts. You can get, so you can make your dash, you know, like red, pink, green, whatever color you want, and you simply bend these out of the way like this, almost like Christmas lights, and they come apart. Okay guys, so now I glued them down where I believe that there's enough of them so it'll cover everything. One thing that you got to know is there is a positive to these, and it has the resistor on it. Even though you may not know a lot about electronics, all you have to do is run a wire that connects each of the positives together and each of the negatives together to run out to your vehicle. After this, I'm going to take and I'm going to put some epoxy in here, and that's going to seal it all up from the water and the salt and dirt and grime. Oh yeah, one more thing. You don't want these sticking up because you got to place this on your car or truck, so you got to take and get them so they're laying down. Alright, as you can see, I got all of them wired up. Now I'm going to apply the epoxy, and I'm just going to be using some 5-minute epoxy here, that way it can cure pretty quickly and I can move on. I also would like to mention, in case anybody else hasn't figured it out, these are shot glasses from the dollar store, so you get like, I don't know, 20 of them for $1. They make awesome mixing containers, and then these are our shish kebab sticks. Alright guys, so this is the fun part. This is where we design what glows and what doesn't. I'm going to be using this sandpaper on a popsicle stick as well as just a piece of sandpaper. This is really a fine grit. Now what I'm deciding I'm going to do is I'm going to do all these highlights to start off with. And for this particular emblem, I think it's going to look nice. I also am going to give this little fine file a try. One thing that I really like about these is how they look when there's no lights on. They look just completely stock and blend right into the car. You wouldn't know any difference. Alright guys, it's just about time to show you that final product, but a quick word from our sponsor, me.
So I put a lot of effort into these videos, and if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button and the bell if you really want. You can always change your mind later. All right, let's check it out. Thank you guys for stopping by, and remember, keep creating.